Today it's just curry and rice. A little bit of fresh tomato. Some green beans out of a can. And that golden cantaloupe.
That's awesome.
It's very sweet. I think it's called, it's honeydew, golden honeydew. Because it's called Doolicious.
Delicious.
Which I think is great. They
Yeah.
came up with a great name.
Yeah. And it actually tastes good.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't taste quite as cold as that green stuff. That stuff looks like kind of like snow, but this stuff tastes maybe a little sweeter. Is that what's going on? Now I think it might have a little bit to do with color. I think we tend to interpret green as being a little bit more bitter than stuff that's, let's say, yellow or white or whatever. So poor Paris, yeah. I don't think you'd like this stuff very much, Paris.
I didn't give you much curry because I remembered you wanted to eat the rice with oysters.
Well, I'm actually not going to because there's so much here on my plate, so I'll save it for a little bit later. Did you put any stuff in the dog's dishes?
I gave them some mushy peas.
Okay, so I'll maybe when I clear some of the, I'll have to wash the. Well, maybe I won't. It's been a while since we got hold of that stuff, right? It's been long enough so that it's not cooked before. So yeah, maybe I'll put some on one side. Here's some of the tomatoes. I don't like mixing tomatoes with.
We have a
stuff
very
like fish.
strict quarantine sort of schedule for our food. When we get back.
I wish other people, like if people were as careful as us, this stuff would be stiff.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It would be sweet. Maybe a little bit when people are wearing masks and they're having to work in situations where they're not 6 feet apart, 2 meters apart. But you wouldn't find these super spreader events, social events. It just wouldn't happen. So speaking of COVID, I got something to read you. It's not a book.
Oh.
Dina Hinshaw
Oh, really?
was on kind of like the horn today, blowing her own horn and the horn of Jason Kenney and Tyler Chandra. They should change his name to German Shanda, which is kind of like a scandal or a shame. It might be, Shanda. I think I've got it basically right. So, Tyler Shanda, the on-health minister. Anyway, what she's saying is, remember Monday they were going to open things up. No contact tracing, no required, which we know it's not really required, but they're calling it quarantine.
Yeah, they're calling it quarantine.
But it was just self-isolation, and a lot of people were. Now, it would have made a difference them doing this. Notice I'm using the past tense. Because they're not going through with it. They're waiting for 6 months. And we're supposed to be all standing ovation. You notice I'm not standing. Wow! Data-driven. Sound of one hand clapping for you guys. You stupid idiots. What did you think? You got Jason Kenney saying that Dina Hinshaw and her crew of uglies had, like months before or a month before, they'd decided to open things up if certain things eventuated. And he was saying it's data-driven. The only thing that data drives that stupid flunky
like he cares about data.
There's one data, which is how much support can he get in Alberta?
Yes, exactly.
Especially amongst righties and tighties, and I'm talking about they say righty-tighty, so it's people who are just like wound too tight. Okay. So they're the people who got the Wild Rose Party going, that wild rose party. I mean, were they stupid? Because it's a wild party. You know, like if you take the rose.
No, Jason Kenney, he's like, I recently reviewed the Earth 5 book. If you look back at my reviews, you'll see. Anyway, and I don't know if it was that one or How to Save the Universe Again or whatever it was called. But one, he had some witty things that he said, the author, in the book. Like there was all for one and one for me. I like that one.
That's Jason Kenney. Yeah. That's right. Because he wants to keep that wild party of his united. Do they call it the Conservative Party? What do they call it? United Conservatives. UC. But no, I don't see. UC. No, I don't. I don't quite see the idea. And that's what he's concerned about. Like, what are the numbers as to how I can keep this ugly
I need to make sure I keep my own job. Now, who cares how many people I condemn to death
exactly right. You know, if you have people die as a result of, like your ambitions or what you want to do, that's called murder. And if you kill many people, like, if you kill, I think they'd class Charlie Manson as a serial killer. And how many people did he kill? A little over half dozen, maybe. We can kind of conjecture that maybe he wiped out some people that...
well, technically not.
Well, he got his buddies to do it. Exactly. The story goes he almost killed a black fella. That guy survived. I think they left him for dead or something.
Oh, the guy that was in the guest house? I can't remember.
No. This guy was, I don't know if he was a drug dealer or something like that.
Oh.
Anyway, I don't think Charlie Manson liked black people terribly.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'd have to look into all that again.
It's one that kind of gets lost in the shuffle. Guest house. No, that guy didn't die at all. He wasn't shot.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. There's all sorts of suspicion leveled at him, because he would have heard the sounds of people screaming.
Definitely.
I'm pretty sure. But hey, I don't know if he knew who was there or whatnot. I'd be scared to come out.
Oh, totally.
What's he supposed to do? Come out and take on
Hey,
Tex
guys,
Watson, who was
killing.
like I think a record holder.
I mean, honestly, if I hear somebody getting murdered in my alley, I'm not going out.
No. You can't just sacrifice yourself. I'm sure you would have heard shots, right? I think there were some shots going down. I'd be just absolutely terrified. So I think he had a dog there with him. I don't think the dog got killed. I think he was just holding on for dear life, So anyone who's saying he was part of the murder because he did, what the hey? Now, I don't know if he had a phone there. He could have phoned or something like that. But it wouldn't have made any difference. Way out, it's kind of like the boonies. They're up in it's a lot of people consider it mountains, but it's like the hills or something like that. And people would have been dead anyway. So I don't know. He might have had some sort of inkling as to who it was, and that would have creeped me out. I wouldn't have wanted to know that Charlie Manson to know that I'd phoned in on him, right? Real creepy character. Anyway, Charlie Manson maybe killed 7 people, or had his followers kill 7 people. With Jason Kenney and company, it's over 2,000 and counting. For a while there, it was someone pretty well every day. More than one person every day. So yeah, they're delaying it for 6 weeks, and I'm going, are you stupid? maybe it's going to be better in 6 weeks. Why do you get people's hopes up? 6 weeks at least it's going to happen. What? I mean, 6 weeks we'll be into shorter days. 6 weeks it'll be past the equinox, the fall equinox. The days will be getting shorter. People will be starting having less vitamin D in their system. It builds up and stuff like that, but it'll start draining. And I don't know. I mean, what were we finding? I was hearing it should be on the CBC every day, but I just heard this part of an interview, and they should have hammered on. Wait, like let's cut these stats down to even bigger subdivisions. But here's what it was. If I recall correctly, it was 86% of the people in acute care right now, I believe is in Alberta, have no shots at all. I'm going, it's that low? Wow. And then they said, of the people in acute care who had one shot, it's 3%. Wow, that's really low. And then that left 10%. There would have been change for each one of these things. That's why it doesn't quite add. It adds up to 99%. 10% had both of their shots. Now, some of those might be AstraZeneca, but that is sobering. Accent on every syllable. Sobering. You can't go around and basically say, okay, somewhere along the line, you're going to, because there'll be no social distancing required, no masking required. 10% of the population is being consigned to catching that bug and getting in acute care. 10% of the population, what percentage of that would die? Even if it's only 10%, it's like you're saying to 1% of the population, get lost, you're old or in the way, or you're somehow incapacitated, you're not worth consideration. Wow. That stat, those stats are awful. They are sobering. Get sober. Get off whatever stupid high you're on. You stupid United Conservatives or whatever you call yourselves. Get off that stupid high and get sober with these. Get data driven. Okay? Get sober on the data. You stupid idiots. I want to cuss so bad.
This one isn't nearly as good.
Oh, well.
It's kind of hard. See?
Oh, well. We should have left it then, but we don't know about these sorts of things. I suppose you can kind of tell from the outside. I mean, I used to be good at shopping for oranges and pears and for certain types of apples and things like that. Oranges, you can tell. You pick them up and you got to have a certain heft to them, or else they're getting old and in the way or something like that.
Angel?
And
Is it good? Okay.
You want them to look round and not look as though they're faceted and so on and so forth. I'm pretty lousy at shopping for most other things. But
Angel thinks
almost
it's
everything.
good.
Anything else you want to talk about?
It's hot.
It's going to get hotter apparently.
No.
I think it's
These days, I have to have a bath every day
of course.
just to keep my peat bale row of tomatoes alive.
Yeah. So she recycles the water.
Yeah.
I guess they call it gray water, but you wouldn't be gray off the one off of you.
Yeah, sometimes it's kind of gray.
Well, I suppose if you've been working hard, extra hard, I should say, in the garden or something like that.